I'm Mike DeLong, and I've gathered all the new movies coming to your streaming services in one place so you don't have to. I've got what's coming out this month and a look back to see what I missed in July. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interest coming out this month, except for maybe the new Final Destination movie. But maybe there's a horror or action movie that's right up your alley. Without further ado, let's see what's coming out in August. First up is Netflix. On the first, My Oxford Year. It's a dramatic rom-com where an American woman goes to Oxford University to fulfill a childhood dream and meets a local man who changes her life. No, this wasn't made in the 1950s, nor is it set there. It's a modern movie. Really? Also on the first, Scarecrow. It's a Filipino horror movie. Over 9 days of prayer after a man's funeral, a family argues about who will receive his land while being haunted by an evil spirit. On the 8th, Stolen, Heist of the Century. It's a documentary about a 2003 diamond heist in Antwerp. On the 12th, we have a comedy special from Australian comic Jim Jeffries called Two-Limb Policy. On the 13th, we have an adult animation movie called Fixed. After finding out he's going to be neutered in the morning, a dog named Bull decides to go for one last night on the town with his pack. Also on the 13th, Songs from the Hole. It's a documentary about a 15-year-old musician who searches for peace and healing after taking someone's life and the murder of his brother just 3 days later. On the 14th, we have Mononoke the Movie Chapter 2. It's a sequel to Mononoke the Movie and a 2007 anime, both also on Netflix, but in no way related to Princess Mononoke. On the 15th, we have Night Always Comes. A woman must find $25,000 in a single and progressively dangerous night, or else she and her family will face eviction. We have 3 things coming out on the 21st. The first is a German drama called Fall For Me. Lily is shocked and suspicious when she finds out her sister is engaged, but becomes distracted when she meets a mysterious nightclub manager. These don't sound like they fit together very well, so I'm not sure how this movie's going to turn out. Second is One Hit Wonder, a Filipino music drama. And finally, Gold Rush Gang, a Thai dramedy about a group of bandits versus the Japanese army at the end of World War II. On the 25th, we have Abandoned Man. This is a Turkish drama about a man trying to rebuild his life after prison, but a shocking truth could change his life forever. Also on the 25th, The Truth About Jussie Smollett, a documentary about the Jussie Smollett assault. On the 27th, we have Fantasy Football Ruined Our Lives. It's an Italian drama about reigning fantasy football champ Gianni, who vanishes on his wedding day, drawing his eccentric friends into a surreal investigation. On the 28th, The Thursday Murder Club comes out. 4 retirees spend their time investigating cold cases when a real-life murder mystery falls in their laps. On the 29th, we have Love Untangled. It's a Korean rom-com about a girl who wants to straighten her perpetually curly hair before making a life-changing confession while getting involved with a transfer student. We have 2 movies coming to Netflix this month that don't have any dates attached to them. The first is Christopher, A Beautiful Real Life. It's a documentary about the Danish pop icon. The second is Katrina Come Hell and High Water. Spike Lee produced a 20th anniversary documentary about Hurricane Katrina. There are a few things I missed on Netflix last month. The first, Raid 2, a Bollywood action thriller, not to be confused with The Raid 2 from Indonesia. Next, My Love Will Make You Disappear. Third, Almost Family, a Brazilian film that looks like a comedy. A Spanish documentary called I'm Still a Superstar. Pag to Tag, a music documentary from the Philippines. And Until Dawn. Next up is Hulu. On the 2nd, we have William Tell. It's an action war movie where Tell leads the Swiss against the Austrians who are trying to capture more land. On the 5th, we have Bob Trevino Likes It. 20-something Lily befriends a man online with the same name as her selfish, estranged father. This new Bob may change her life. On the 7th, The Monkey comes out. It's a horror movie where twin boys find their dad's old monkey toy and gruesome murders begin to happen. They put it away, but it reappears years later. On the 8th, we have a comedy special from Ralph Barbosa called Planet Bosa. On the 12th, we have a thriller called Sharp Corner. A dedicated family man becomes obsessed with saving the lives of accident victims on the sharp corner in front of his house. On the 15th, we have It Feeds. Jordan and her clairvoyant mother must save a girl who claims that there is an entity feeding off of her. On the 19th, we have Levels, a sci-fi thriller. After witnessing his girlfriend's murder, a man risks everything, including reality itself, to discover the truth. On the 21st, we have a horror thriller called The Bayou. After surviving a plane crash in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, Kyle and her friends discover something dangerous in the water. It's probably an alligator. Yeah, I'm going to go with alligator. On the 23rd, we have action comedy Eeny Meeny. Samara Weaving plays a reformed getaway driver who's pulled back into life to save her ex-boyfriend. On the 26th, we have Little Bites. It's a horror movie where a woman allows a monster to slowly eat her in an attempt to save her daughter's life. And finally, on the 29th, we have Trail of Vengeance. In 1875, a woman's life is upended by the murder of her husband by a nefarious colonel. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. Share it on your socials so your friends don't miss out on any new movies. Next, we have Max. On the first, Final Destination Bloodlines. A college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family. On the 8th is an action comedy called Freaky Tales. 4 interconnected stories in 1987 Oakland, California tell of the love of music, movies, people, places, and memories. On the 15th, we have a teen fantasy called The Legend of Ochi. A shy girl who's taught to fear the elusive animals called Ochi finds a wounded baby and determines to return him to the wild. Next up is Prime. On the 6th, The Pickup comes out. When 2 armored truck drivers are pursued by ruthless thieves, a routine job becomes deadly in this action comedy. On the 14th, we have an action thriller called Flight Risk. A pilot is transporting an air marshal and a fugitive across the Alaskan wilderness, but he is not who he seems to be. On the 15th, Den of Thieves Pantera. This Den of Thieves sequel is now coming to Prime. On the 16th, we have Werewolves. After a worldwide werewolf pandemic, scientists try to stop the mutation from happening. On the 18th, we have an action thriller called Red Right Hand. Another retired criminal is trying to live a quiet life, but they find out he's capable of anything when they try to bring him back into the life of crime. On the 20th, we have The Map That Leads You. Heather finds herself on an unexpected emotional journey when she's on a European adventure. On the 25th, we have Slingshot. It's a sci-fi thriller where a man tries to maintain his grip on reality on a voyage to one of Saturn's moons. Next, we have Peacock. On the 1st, Borderline. It's a psychological thriller where a bodyguard protects a pop star and her athlete boyfriend from a determined stalker in 1990s LA. On the 14th, Monkey Man is coming back to streaming. It's an action thriller where Dev Patel plays a young man who's trying to get revenge on the men who murdered his mother. It's pretty good. I think you should check this one out. On the 22nd, we have the animated movie Night of the Zoopocalypse. A wolf and a mountain lion team up when a meteor unleashes a zombie virus. Last month on Peacock, they released the latest from Wes Anderson, The Phoenician Scheme. I'm super excited to catch up with this one. Hopefully it's better than his last 2. Next, we have Paramount Plus. On the 25th, The Friend comes out. It's a drama about a woman who adopts her late friend's Great Dane and finds out some new things about herself. There are no new movies coming out on Disney Plus or Apple TV, so that's all we have for this month. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this streaming video. Are you excited for anything coming out this month? If so, let me know in the comments. Hopefully, September will be more exciting. My next video will be another review roundup of everything I watched in July. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.